Welcome to this mind map video where we explore how to use a yoga strap. Now, I've already done one restorative short video on Supta Baddha Konasana using a bolster, but this time I'm going to involve a few more props. So if you do not have a bolster, you could get a couple of really big bath towels and roll them up so that they resemble a bolster. If you've got some blocks, great. You'll see that I've got a couple here because I've changed the angle of the bolster for this video. Grab yourself some cushions and some extra blocks. If you don't have blocks, find some cushions or something that's suitable, and maybe again you could roll up some towels. I have this lovely little sack which I adore. It's full of lavender, so if I'm doing a restorative pose I can put this on my eyes. They're weighted. Don't worry if you don't have this, closing your eyes will be just as yummy. And a little blanket. I don't use my yoga savasana blanket because I like a little fluffy blanket. This is my comfort, and that just gives me a little bit of support at the top of the bolster. So if you want to go and find a few things that might be helpful as we go through this short video on how to use a yoga strap for Supta Baddha Konasana restorative. See you in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, I guess you're back, and first of all I want to talk a little bit about how this helps us, how this particular pose. So when it comes to restorative, we're thinking about not putting any particular strain on our bodies at all, but allowing our fascia, our psoas, our muscles, our tendons, our ligaments to switch off a little bit, to relax and restore. And to help that, it means that we have props that support parts of our body as we come into our pose. So we're not having to hold ourselves in a position. We can allow ourselves to, if you like, fall supportedly into the asana and the position. Now, I did say I have got some blocks under my bolster, which I didn't have the last time that I did this yoga asana. And you can actually make the bolster even higher. So if I was doing this with someone in pregnancy, second and third trimester, we would probably raise the angle of this even more so you weren't lying back. But this has got a block this way up underneath here, and then at the back it's turned up to give it a little bit of height. You do need to make sure that your blocks are secure. Then, as I said, for me, I've got my favourite fluffy blanket, which I'm going to pop at the end. And then, because it's restorative and we want to be held in this pose, which is why it is so lovely, I also think this is an excellent pose for recovering from any heartache. One of the reasons for that is that we're opening our thighs, we're opening our hips. That's where we hold that sacral area, a lot of our feelings. It allows us for a little bit of lateral opening of the knees, but also with the angle raised, we are having some opening of our chest. So if you think about your heart chakra and the opening of your chest, sometimes when we're going through heartbreak, we want to do the opposite at times and we want to protect ourselves, and that's absolutely natural. But also we need to be able to let our feelings out, and we need to be able to shine the love for ourselves too. So, cushions. Now, I'm going to turn around to the position that you could probably get yourselves into now. And you're going to need to move around and adjust. The thing about yoga is, for me, it's making the adjustments. I don't think there should be any concrete yoga asanas. And we've all got different bodies. So you would need to adjust depending on how it feels. And that's okay. In fact, that's paramount for getting it right. Now we're going to be taking our feet together and bringing our heels towards our pelvis, towards our bottom. So imagine where you think your knees are going to be, and if you've got some cushions, this is the time to think about where you may put them so that they can be supportive. The extra blocks I've got here, which you can use these under your thighs, but these are very key to being supportive for opening the chest, and I'll show you why. So if I put a block there and a block here, when I come back onto my bolster, they allow me to rest my arms, and therefore I can actually open my chest. If I take these away, because of the angle of the bolster, my arm is hanging. Yes, I could let it hang, but that's not really being supportive. I've got nothing to support it with apart from maybe my hand, and actually that feels quite tense. So this is why these, and you roll up a towel if you don't have a block, and you may have to play around with the positioning of them, but these allow you to just drop and be supported. So they're in place. If you have one of these lovely little eye cushions, you can get that ready near where you can pick it up. But now we come down to the important part of the belt. So if you have a yoga belt, you'll notice that it does up in a particular way, and what we want to do, for me, you'll hear, I mean, the thing about yoga is there's so many different variations and so many yoga police, but actually find what feels right for you, and I'm just suggesting this is how it feels right for me. I need to be able to pull upwards to tighten the belt and not kind of have to pull downwards. So I'm thinking about having the bit that tightens the belt pointing towards my head. And you're going to drop the belt over your head. Make sure there's no creases in it. So you need to get it nice and level, and it will sit just kind of above this hip bone here. You don't want it too low and you don't want it any higher. It's probably going to sit right on my microphone. I tell you, this is a laugh. When you've never done anything like this, you think, oh, that's simple. I'll just put a microphone on and I'll chat to the camera. But believe me, it's enough to give you a cortisol buzz and stress just trying to put all this together. Anyway, once you've done that, then you can think about looping it, because it's coming straight down in between your legs, looping it around your feet. Now you don't want to hurt your toes, so if you just drop it just below your toes. Now when you go backwards, the belt will naturally tighten, but it probably isn't going to be enough to bring your heels into where you'd like them to be. But we can start off like this. Whenever you come back, gently, gently, okay? Yoga should never be painful, and we should never come out of it with any injuries. So if you've got your blocks, you might use those to lower yourself, and tuck the lower part of your spine, your lower back, just snugly up towards where the bolster is, and then you can gently lower yourself down. Now, this is the time to get my little blankie in place so it feels nice. Know where my little eye cushion is. And now I want to think about bringing my heels in. Okay, so where can they comfortably come into? So mine can come into here, yours may be very different, and that's fine. And then once they're there, this is when I can use my yoga belt to start to tighten up. So I'm pulling it towards me, and I'm going to keep doing this until I feel that my feet are supported and I'm not holding my feet. The whole idea is to not let your feet or your heels slip away from your pelvic area, but to keep them in place. But it shouldn't be uncomfortable. So once you've achieved something that feels comfortable, check that you've got the support under your thighs, because you want to roll the in of our thighs out. It's a wonderful hip opener. You're getting a little bit of lateral opening flexion in the knees, which is good. And then when you feel that you've got everything in place, if you've got your little eye cushion, you can pop it on. If not, just close your eyes. Make sure you move these so that you can just drop your arms down, chest is open, And now let's have 3 minutes. Restorative Supta Baddha Konasana. Remember to let go and feel the support of your props. Tap into your breath and imagine breathing into your hip joints. Gentle breaths. Breathing into that yummy, yummy feeling of support. If there's any discomfort, make an adjustment. Imagine that heart space. Imagine your heart supported, held, nurtured by you. Tears can sometimes come when we open up through our hips and when our heart is broken. Tears are cathartic. Let go of pain. We don't want to hold on to it. Very helpful pose that helps us explore the connection to our parasympathetic nervous system, which is really helpful for healing when we've become distressed, hurt or suffered. You should feel now potentially, I'll take back the word should, potentially you may have a sensation of a letting go, of a more relaxed open pelvis, maybe of a softer, more relaxed opened heart space. And as we prepare to come back into the room, think of a loving intention for yourself for the rest of the day. How will you demonstrate, nurture, support and love? For yourself. So slowly, if you have your eyes closed, you might want to half open your eyes. Sometimes it can feel a little bright. And then just explore your breath again. Find the rhythm of your breath. Now we're going to take our hand to the belt. In the opposite direction, loosen the belt off. So your hand's going away from you. And now you should be able to move your feet a little further away from your body and take your feet from out of the belt. It takes a bit of wiggling, but you know, a little bit of wiggling does us good. Now just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. If you've got a block to the side of you here, on one side take it away. And as we're going to come onto our side to come up, we're not going to try and lift ourselves off of the bolster. So you're going to close one knee towards the other one as you come to the side and onto your arm. You might want to remain here just for a second or two, but you might feel great. So you could come back into the room, cross-legged, remove your belt. Oh, that was noisy. I hope you've enjoyed this restorative practice. A belt is fantastic. It can help us quite a lot in some of our poses, but I will try and produce some videos where maybe we could use something else, you know, maybe the cord of our dressing gown or something if you don't have a yoga strap. But yes, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.